Hello, my friends. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here now with the European parliamentary Dominik Tarczynski from Poland.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Eduardo.
I hope I said well your last name. Is that right, Tarczynski?
It's not easy to pronounce it. It's Tarczynski, but I know that you have a lot of Polish people who were saved by Brazil years ago, decades ago, after war. So some Brazilians will be able to pronounce it. Dominik Tarczynski. So thanks to this opportunity, I'd like to say thank you to the Brazil nation for saving my brothers, my sisters after war. Even before war, many Poles fled to Brazil, to this beautiful place, which was safe at the time.
Thank you very much for these kind words, my friend. I have here very quick questions, and people is asking me here, for example, number one, you made a video complaining about the summons issued to President Jair Bolsonaro while he was in a hospital ICU. And at that moment, you announced that you would ask the European Union to sanction Alexandre de Moraes, the Brazilian Supreme Court justice who is leading the political persecution in Brazil. Since then, many events have occurred. Moraes responded to Trump's tariffs by placing an ankle bracelet on Jair Bolsonaro, prohibiting him from speaking with me, his own son, freezing my bank accounts, as well my wife's, who has never had any political involvement, and even threatening Jair Bolsonaro with a prevent detention if I post a video of my father on my social media, despite the fact that I was never, ever summoned or informed by any investigation coming from Alexandre de Moraes that he opened against me. So, Dominik, today, you are making a new request for sanctions against Brazilian Supreme Court Justice Alexandre de Moraes.
Yes.
What is the status of this request? Are you acting alone, or do you have support from fellow?
No. It's not only me. It's not only me. It's officially the request as a legal procedure was signed by 16 members of the European Parliament from different countries. So this is not only about Poland. We've got MEPs from Italy, from Poland, from Portugal, from different places. And we know that this case, Bolsonaro family case, Brazil case, it's not only about you, Eduardo. It's not about Brazil only. We love Brazil. We love your people. But it's not only about you. It's about the global system. It's about the global way of leftists. I mean, the way they behave, the way they treat conservatives. I must say, as I said in the previous video, as I see your situation, Brazilian situation, as a pure communism. When someone is freezing your bank accounts, if someone is taking away your freedom of speech, when someone is trying to censor you, when someone is trying to silence you, when they are trying to get rid of you and stop you from running for office, this is what happened in Poland during communism. Exactly the same thing. They called opponents patriots, thieves. They tried to call us bandits. They tried to call us corrupted. They tried to get rid of us because they knew that if nation will decide, they are going to lose. And mark my words, Eduardo, you are going to win. Bolsonaro family is going to win morally and politically because the world, thanks to your work, opened its eyes. We can see America reacted, Mr. Trump reacted. Thank you very much for that. European Union will react it, 27 countries. And I do believe that next international bodies, international institutions will react because there is no space for the communism in 2025. Communism is just like a fascism. It cannot be tolerated, whatever it is. Is it European Union? Is it US? Is it Brazil? It doesn't matter. We have to fight it together. So me, Dominik, I used to live under communism. I was born in 1979. I do remember as a child that I had to queue to the shop to buy food, to buy shoes, clothes. I do remember that as a kid. I remember how my parents were treated by the communists the same way. They tried to frozen their bank accounts, and they did actually. They tried to get rid of them, cancel them. All they want is the full power, and they won't own the nations. And it has nothing to do with democracy. You don't own us. Moraes doesn't own us. Lula doesn't own you. So I want you, Brazilian people, to be aware you are not alone. We, Europeans, Polish, we see what is going on. We do react. You might not hear a lot of news about what is going on, but since my first video, when I said I'm going to put sanctions on Moraes, it's a couple of months, and you might think nothing happened. No, I spent a lot of time, a lot of meetings to show the case of Bolsonaro family, to show Brazilian case, to let MEPs know what is going on and what is it about. And then they decided, okay, you're right, we have to react. If European Union wants to be treated seriously, if the rule of law is a serious thing for us, we have to react. That is why I put the request, official letter, to our Secretary of Foreign Affairs, let's say, and she will decide how we're going to proceed next. And officially, I would like to announce that you are invited, Eduardo, to the European Parliament for official public hearing, which means we want you to come to the European Parliament to ask the questions, to say to the world, to the Europe, what is going on in Brazil, what is this case about, how these communists treat you and almost or even more than half of the Brazilian nation, if not all of it. Even the supporters, Lula supporters, are not happy about him. That's the case. So we want you to come to Brussels, to the European Parliament, to give a speech, to have a dialogue, to have a conference, to have a public hearing, and then you can convince even more people to act, to be active, to fight these communists, because this cancer, because to me as a political cancer, will spread around the world. People will be jailed, their money will be frozen. If you're an activist, if you're a journalist, if you will say something online, Facebook, Instagram, or whatever, you might have a serious problems. This is what they do step by step, like a salami. They do it step by step, and each person, in my opinion, is in danger now in Brazil. It's not exaggeration, it's just a fact by what I see, but what I hear. I'm receiving a lot of messages on Instagram from Brazilian people, and I see the stories they are sending to me. It's not about only politicians, Eduardo. With all the respect, I love you, brother. You're my friend. We know each other for years.
I know, I do understand.
But it's not about you. I mean, the people from Brazil are sending me messages with horrible stories, the way they are treated. So we are fighting for your dignity, for the Brazilian dignity, for freedom, for real democracy. Let the people decide. If people will decide that they want this or that or something else, that's fine. But the power by the president, by the judge, cannot be used to jail the opposition leaders if they know, when they know that they are going to lose with them. Because again, they are going to lose with you. Please, God.
No, it's very good. Thank you for this invitation. For sure, I will follow up with you, and hope God very soon I'll be there together with you, my friend Dominik, in the European Parliament, along with other not only conservatives, congressmen.
Not only, no, we're gonna invite everyone because, as you know, yeah, different political groups signed my letter, my request. It's not only about European conservatives and reformists, patriots and others. They are interested, and some of them already signed the letter and the request. So this is above the political differences. Different political groups decided to support you. This is very important.
Yes, and I do receive all kind of help with people that is aware that is not about left or right. That this is
Yes.
about democracy. This is about free speech.
Yeah.
And Dominik, thank you very much about your kind words, because no one is better than you to talk about the similarity that is strategies of censorship and persecution that we are living nowadays in Brazil than you, who lived in Poland during the Soviet Union times. And this is really nice to listen, because sometimes even specialists, journalists, as you can imagine, they make jokes with us when you talk about the old-fashioned communist strategies. That is basically, we are seeing that getting repeated again nowadays with Alexandre de Moraes. And
listen, Eduardo, I tell you, sorry to interrupt, but this is important.
No, please.
When I made a first video about the sanctions on Moraes, I get the informations and comments from left-wing media, Brazilian media, that I am a fascist, and I am the one who supported fascists. And it's the same story. In 1945, my grandfather, after the war, he says, okay, we fought against fascism and Nazism. Now Soviets took over and they occupied our country. I'm not going to finish. I'm going to fight against them. And he fought against communists until 1947, 2 years after war. He was in really bad conditions. The only safe place where he could sleep with his soldiers when he was 27 was empty grave, because communists were afraid to go into the cemetery. So 27-year-old guy was sleeping for years in an empty, not used grave, and he fought against fascists and communists. And what communists did? He said he is a fascist. He supports Anglo-Sass. He supports fascism. And now nothing's changed after 80 years. They still call us a fascist. They called me a fascist. They called me the one who support fascists during the marches in Poland. I don't care. They can call me a pink elephant. They can use any kind of lies. It shows that they behaved as communists after 1945. They did not change. All they changed is a suit. They have a better suits, but they are still mentally communists. That's why I'm going to fight for you, like for my brother. I'm going to fight for the Brazilian people with this communist, because there's no worse, there's nothing worse than communism, and the communism killed over 250 million people around the world. There's nothing worse than communism, and they do behave like a communists. This is why I'm going to fight them, and we're going to win this war.
Hope so, hope God. And this is very good to remind that in September 1st of 1988, occurred the double invasion of Poland. From one side, from east, Soviet Union with the communists, and also from west, Hitler with the
1st of September 1939, Germans attacked. 17th of September, Soviets attacked. So we've been attacked by the fascists, by the Nazis, and by the communists. And then after war, Poland was under Soviet occupation for 70 years. 70 years of communism. I know what the starvation is. I know what the censorship is. I know what the jail is. I know everything. And you are going through communism now, Eduardo. It's not just a political talking. It's not my political opinion. This is a fact. That's why I'm so shocked that in 2025, knowing who Stalin was, knowing what's going on in North Korea, knowing what was happening in Cuba for many years, knowing what is happening in Venezuela, knowing about the communism around the world in different parts of history, they do dare to do the same in Brazil. That's why they are going to lose. They're going to pay consequences for what they have done, and Europe is going to be a big part of your winning.
So, Dominik, do you see that, talking now specifically about censorship in Europe, I would like to bring to the Brazilians some of the newest of what is going on in Europe. Do you think that speech made by Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance, in Germany recently, still this year, do you think the Europe now is listening to this kind of speech like J.D. Vance, or do you think Europe is trying more and more censorship?
Oh, obviously they can play, they can make the body language that they don't care. But when you see how they reacting for tariffs, how they reacting for sanctions, how they reacting on Mr. Trump's decisions, they are changing their minds. I remember when Mr. Trump, during his first presidency, was talking to German delegation in UN, when he says, do not make any deals with Russia. Do not do it because you will become dependent on Russian oil and gas. They were sitting like that and laughing. They are not laughing
Yeah.
anymore. They are not laughing anymore. And they tried to get rid of Mr. Trump. They tried to get rid of him. They get him out of the ballot. They tried to stop him from running. The same thing is happening with your father. The same thing is happening with you. They want to get rid of you. They want to stop you from running because they know you're going to win. So it's the same case, different tools, different time, but the same way. They do not want to fight as a people of honor. They do not want anyone to fight them because they are weak. All they have is the power used and abused by them, but they are going to lose. So when you're asking me about the censorship, in Europe, it's nothing like in Brazil. They do have a serious problem in Germany. They do have a serious problem in Great Britain, not in Poland, not in Hungary, not in many other, standing firm countries. We are fighting for our freedom. We can say whatever we feel. We can say whatever we want. And you cannot. How can you ask? How can you force a son not to talk to his father? This is ridiculous. This kind of thing did not happen even during the communism in Poland. I can't believe that they are so stupid to
So
make
nasty.
the world angry. People are angry. I was just having an interview like 15 minutes ago with one of the TV stations about you and about Brazil. That was American outlet, and people couldn't believe how is it even possible? How can you ask? How can you force family members not to talk to each other? This is North
No.
Korea, Eduardo. This is not a Brazil. This is not democracy.
Yeah. Like 100%. Even us, we do not believe that this is happening. And before my last question, this is way connected with a future trip to the European Parliament in Belgium, hope very soon, because in Brazil, there is a troubling inversion. Those who denounce human rights violations are considered criminals by the judicial system.
That's right.
How can we fight
That's
against the normalization of the judicial repression disguised as the defense of democracy? Do you see any similarity between the facts that happened with Poland during the Soviet Union times? You already answered that, but how do we fight back against this judicial system that is persecuting political opposition?
I tell you how I see things. It's completely the same. As I told you, communists call us patriots fascists. So they are changing the meaning of the word. The word. They're using this word against you. They stigmatize you. They build a picture of you of the worst because they know it's going to work if they will use this lie for 100 times. We are not a fascist. We are patriots. You are not a fascist. You are a patriot. We fought for our country. We are fighting for our country. What to do? I tell you how we won with the communists in Poland. Solidarity movement become growing and growing. Millions of people joined solidarity movement. My father was one of the founders in my city of solidarity movement. So my message to the Brazilian people would be do and build solidarity movement in Brazil. Join the movement. Only the nation can stop these communists. Do what we did in Poland. Millions of Poles join solidarity movement. We need solidarity with Brazil. We need solidarity with Bolsonaro family because they are your representatives. And if you want me to give you more insights, more stories, more directions, send me a messages on my Instagram. I do it myself. I'm on Instagram myself. I will always answer you. I will always direct you. I will always help you. Be active. Use Instagram. Use Facebook. Use YouTube. Use your social media because you can. We do not know what is going to happen in a year or two. You can do it from your place of living, from your home. So use your social media, join the movement, not only on social, but be together, build solidarity, and win with these communists. You're going to win.
Thank you very much. Dominik, only one last thing to conclude. This Sunday, actually, tomorrow, we will have street demonstrations across Brazil.
I know.
is that possible send a final message to all these Brazilians and also to those who at this moment are afraid to speak out on social media or publicly against this system that President Trump wisely called a regime, please?
I would like to say a few words to the Brazilian nation. Do not be afraid. As John Paul II said, do not be afraid. Fight for your country. Fight for your freedom. Do not be afraid because you are not alone. God is with us, and we, people of honor, with you. We Europeans, we conservatives, we patriots, we can see your suffering. We are with you, we're going to support you, and we are going to win for the future of Brazil. I love you all. I love Brazilian nation. Stay firm. You are not alone.
Thank you very much, my friend. Hope to see you soon. Amen. God bless you.
Thank you very much. God bless. Take care.